This grilling season, don't just fire up the barbecue. Elevate it with meats from around the globe, delivered straight to your door by the Butcher Shoppe Direct. They're not your average butcher. Butcher Shoppe Direct sources premium cuts from over 5 continents: Argentina, Japan, New Zealand, Spain, the US, and right here in Canada. Whether it's a tomahawk steak from Australia or melt in your mouth Wagyu from Japan, they bring the world's best to your backyard. And here's the game changer. Every order is cut fresh on the day of delivery. No sitting in a freezer, no guesswork, just top quality meat, expertly prepared and grilled ready. Planning a cookout? Check out their handcrafted burger patties and small batch sausages, perfect for taking your barbecue from good to unforgettable. And right now, you can save 15% off of your first order. Just visit butchershopdirect.com and use promo code EatingWild15 at checkout. Plus, get free delivery on all orders over $250. That's EatingWild15 to save, and free delivery when you stock up. Butcher Shoppe Direct. Premium, fresh, delivered. It's dangerous, and I would not suggest anyone listening to this if you think you're going to go up there and pop. And you know what he said to me? What a jerk. If you're listening, pal, you're lucky you beat up people for a living, because I'd come after you just to get your take on this, because it could get heated, and I think that people listening are going to want to jump through their car radio to have an input in this. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Another episode of the Eating Wild podcast. Smash Malek alongside Christopher Showtime Jansen. We are in studio live here in the wonderful parts of Oakville, Ontario. We're having a little cold pop. And Siege is here joining us from London, Ontario. Siege, how you doing, bud?
Good, bud. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Salute.
We're long time no see. I think we were on the water yesterday.
We were on the water, and we are on YouTube as well today, brother.
Yes.
So just folks listening, if you want to see our beautiful faces, just go onto YouTube, and you'll be able to see our fatch.
I don't know about beautiful.
Well, you're gorgeous.
Well, I prefer handsome, but that's my mom says I'm handsome. Every now and then my wife does. I think it's a pity handsome though.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's always the pity.
Yeah, man.
Well, brother, you mentioned that we hit the water yesterday. Eating Wild has been busy, man. We actually had quite the month so far. I know it's been the weather's starting to turn.
We're getting the cold mornings, cold nights. Not bad during the days.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I made a mistake last night. We, man, it's always me. I know Lou and Dan are listening right now. They're like, you're a goof. So here's the thing. I show up at the boat launch. For people listening, last night we went to meet the champ, Cody Kavanchak, out in your old neck of the woods, Siege, Lower Niagara.
Lower Niagara and Niagara on the Lake, man.
Yeah.
You went out and I think I told you during the day, it gets cold at night, Tone.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
And then I see, but actually you weren't bad.
No, but I've left my sweater in the car. Anyways, we get to the boat launch.
Yeah.
The champ's already on the water. He's waiting for us. And first of all, what were we targeting? Because this time of year seems to be either it's too early for the pop, or it's close because the weather's starting to turn. So we rolled the dice really, because you said that Cody didn't even sound too confident. But we wanted to see him, and we wanted to get the rods wet.
Yeah.
So obviously it was a little bit slow. We'll talk about that, but let's talk about the weather for a second. I know this is sort of cliche. People throw in, oh, how's the weather today? Listen, I got there, it was 18 degrees. Took the sweater off, put my Eating Wild jacket on, got on the boat. You were coming after work, 4 o'clock. So this is around noon. And we get out there and we started targeting salmon. So salmon at this time of year in Niagara, again, this is all new for me too. They're starting to move, and they're just like going up through any river system in Ontario. And there's a place called the Devil's Hole.
Yeah, you went up there. How was that?
It scared the shit out of me. But
with a name like that?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. If your electronics or your motor fails, good night.
Well, who is that one gentleman we had at the Sports and Fishing?
Aldo Nava.
And he found a body there.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, I remember.
Freaked him out.
So I think what the story was, hopefully I'm not butchering it, but there was an angler that fell off his boat or something like that. And tipped. And they were looking for this gentleman for a couple days.
Yeah, and then he floated right by Aldo. And he spooked him, and I don't think he's been up there since.
Yeah, he had a call, and Can you imagine
It's scary,
that?
man. I don't, like Cody said, he grew up, those are his waters. He was with his buddy Ty.
Yeah, good guy.
Who's been fishing that since he was a kid. So, and he actually told me a story, Ty, that his boat did fail up in that area, and they literally just drifted down. And I was like, well, what'd you do? He goes, we got close to the banks, but it's actually worse if you get close to the banks. You kind of want to stay in the middle, and hopefully it takes you out to the main channel, because then there's lots of people there right away. As soon as he got through that Devil's Hole, there was a couple boats out there. They flagged him down. They came and they brought him right into the shore. But it's dangerous, and I would not suggest anyone listening to this, if you think you're going to go up there and pop, make sure you're going with somebody that knows what they're doing, has been there before. But once you get up there and you get over that, you're splitting the D between the United States of America and Canada, and you get to these really, really fast rapids and these crazy, crazy whirlpools, and then you can actually do a drift more on the American side. That's why we had to get our American license. But it's almost like float fishing, Siege, where you are the float, meaning you set the boat up into the top of the drift, and we were using skein, which was really cool, because I've never fished like that. Like I've river fished many times, but never with fresh skein like that. And literally, you see these salmon just boiling everywhere, jumping. They're so healthy, and they're ready to do their thing. And there was 2 boats up there already. And as soon as we got there, we saw a guy land a bow, and it was a good sign, because usually those bows come in, and this is just me thinking of back in the day being on the rivers. Those bows will come in early November, and what they're doing is they're just feeding off of those salmon when they're laying their eggs. They're literally they'll sit back, and those salmon will be laying their eggs, and they'll just be doop, doop, like a vacuum, just taking in eggs. But to see him catch that early with the water temperature still being in the 60s, I mean, it's warm. I knew Cody was like, we're gonna see if we can get him, but I was skeptical at that point.
Yeah, I think we were 2 weeks early.
Yeah, 2 to 3.
So what did we do then? We just switched over to Walters.
We went over to Walters, picked you up, and within the second drift, you popped one.
Yeah,
good one. First time I've ever seen a Niagara Walter.
Yeah, it was my first walleye on the lower Niagara, and I know we have a lot of listeners that fish Detroit River a lot. We were pretty much doing the same kind of style. We were using like an ounce jig head. Yeah, 3/4 to an ounce, putting a nice 3 and 3/4 inch kind of like worm split tail. Yeah. And then just casting and bouncing off the bottom. But you really have to have a heavy jig head to get to the bottom with the current.
You don't realize how fast that current's ripping.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will notice, and I said this to you because I felt like I had a fish on. It could have been one.
Right.
It felt like I had a couple of head shakes. But when you're moving and you're just looking at your slack line, you don't realize how fast you're moving until you put your head up.
Yeah, you look at the shoreline.
You look at the shoreline, and your 1 ounce jig head is just bouncing off those rocks.
Yeah,
you literally feel like at any second you're gonna feel that tug, just like similar to when we were fishing for Lakers.
Yeah,
and I did feel like it was like boom boom, couple head shakes, and then I comes up and it was just full of wheat. So I really don't know what the hell I'm doing or what to expect, because I didn't get to hook that fish. But you tell me, what was it like? Because you said it was your first walleye.
On the lower,
On the lower. Was it anything similar to when you were fishing as a kid?
I'm telling you, current, fish that are in current, that was a good size walleye. That was a good size walleye.
Was, yeah.
Any lake in Ontario, any lake in the world for walleye, right? It was a really good walleye. But when they're fighting a current all day, there's something with the current. It's like they're always on a treadmill, and it makes them so much stronger. Yeah, I find it with smallmouth bass, muskie, anything that pretty much is that's in current waters, and it's just sometimes they're not as fat. They're leaner fish because they're strong, man. Strong. So I was hoping if any walleye fishermen out there, when you pop one, chances are you're going to get in a whole whack of them. But the way the current goes, they're not just hanging in one spot a lot of times, right? They just go with the current. So where any other lakes, without the current, they would have been stacked up there. We could have moved 50 feet over them, but we did get the one. We got a picture, and hey, man, it was an experience.
A good day. Yeah. And Cody it was a nice keeper.
Yeah.
Sure, he was going to.
Oh, yeah. He was going to be loins. And then the day before, him and his buddies went out duck hunting.
Pop Fest.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
And you know what he said to me? What a jerk. If you're listening, pal, you're lucky you beat up people for a living. Yeah, I'd come after you.
Yeah.
He knew we wanted to go pop ducks with him.
Yeah.
But there's a group of guys that he is very, very loyal to. And on opening weekend or whatever it is, or I shouldn't say opening weekend because it's been open, but for their first pop together, he owes it to them to go with those guys. And next thing you know, we look at his socials, and this guy's got a baker's dozen lying out on the front of his boat. Yeah. And we're like, hey, man, should we bring the shotguns? He's like, nah, keep them at home. We're like, really? Yeah. Because it looks like you had the pop fest of the Symphony of Nights the night before with your friends. And it's amazing that you can go and hunt ducks and pop fish. And we're talking multi-species, man. It was funny because he's like, you want to go fish muskie? We might go fish muskie. Yeah. We might go fish smallies. You know what? Let's go see if the salmon are running. Okay, you know what? Let's just go do Walters. Where else in Ontario can you do that, Siege?
I think sometimes it hurts you.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, you're dedicated to that one fish, and then all of a sudden you just second guess and you'll be like, let's go for this and go for this. But I've never shot a duck from a boat before. That's on my list.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
He was saying that it's that first pop. The reason why they're so successful is because those birds are still sort of like, they're not really feeling the pressure yet.
Right. They're getting
used to it. And then it's not like us when we go up on our trip, which we're going to talk about. Those ducks already smell us. Yeah. And they seem not to come out and play with us at all.
Yeah. Yeah. They can smell maybe the adult beverages. They can smell the meat coma or the meat sweats we're in. And
probably the Demoriers, the Virginia tobacco, who knows?
Cigars, But we definitely have to do that. We have to duck hunt from a boat. We did it at Barton's like way back in the day. That was a lot of fun.
It's a man's trip.
It is.
It's a man's trip. I shouldn't say it's a man's trip. I mean, I'm sure the females listening too, they pop better than I do. But, when I say it's a man's trip, I mean it's a trip that you do with your friends. Yeah. And you can cover all angles, whether it's hunting and fishing, all in the same day. But it's loaded. I don't know if you remember Barton's. It's funny you mentioned that up Barton's Lake. That was the last time I remember the Blue Jays went to the ALCS, which is the American League Championship Series. Yes. Which, Siege, they did it. They beat the Yankees yesterday. So when you're listening to this, they'll already be in the ALCS, which is American League Championship Series. But we got to hear the famous Jose Bautista bat flip home run on the boat fishing for crappie on Barton Lake. And we hunted ducks that day as well. So it's pretty cool, man, that it's a full circle.
Do you think it's been done? I'm sure it's been done, but how much has this been done? Walleye fishing, flay it right away. Yeah. And then getting like a woody and breasting it, and then having a shore lunch, a duck and Walter. Like, I think that we gotta do that.
We gotta do it, man. But
because it's always been fish, or if it's been like grouse, like we have grouse lunches, right? Yeah. But to add the two, what would you call that? A surf and
turf? Turf and surf? I had no idea.
That's the name of this episode. Surf and turf.
Surf and turf. Or wait, what? I mean, waterfowl is duck. Yeah. Grouse isn't considered waterfowl.
No,
so that'd be more of a turf.
So we got the surf is the Walter, right?
And possibly the duck. Surf and a half?
Yeah. I don't know. We should try it.
Surf, turf and a half.
Yes. Any of our listeners out there, if you've done fishing and waterfowl shore lunch, we'd love to see that, because that'd be great.
It'd be a great time.
Yeah.
But speaking of our trips, Siege, we're a week away, buddy. I'm exhausted, by the way, folks. Talk about Thanksgiving. Last episode, I talked about what I was going to be doing this week. And, buddy, since 5:30 this morning, I've been butchering birds, making stock, making stuffing. We're feeding, I think, 780 people tomorrow Thanksgiving dinner on the Friday. I mean, you walked into the shop today and you're like, it smells like an absolute beautiful fiesta.
Well, for our listeners, you know how it is when you have that turkey cooking in your house all day and that smell. Yeah. Well, that's one turkey. How many turkeys did you have cooking?
Great question, pal. We did 260 pounds of turkey. In terms of weight per bird, we're an average of 12 to 15 pounds. So you do the math, brother. That was over 40 birds. I mean, it was a lot of work this morning. I mean, we do it 3 times a year. We do it for the Canadian Thanksgiving. A lot of our clients are American, being in the film industry. So in November, like I'll be at it again in a month because...
Oh, you do both the Canadian and American?
The producers usually will sometimes they don't ask, Siege, because I believe the American Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. And, you know, we do ours on the Friday before because we get the Monday holiday. So we usually feed the crew on the Fridays. But some of our good friends, like on The Boys, the show The Boys, we've always done the American Thanksgiving because the producer was, you know, he's a foodie and he was always into that. Actually, believe it or not, Seth Rogen is the producer, one of the major
of The Boys.
Of The Boys. And he's Canadian, but he's a huge foodie.
Yeah.
2 things he asked for. One was a taco day. They were here for their gallery shoot. Taco day, Thanksgiving dinner for the Americans. That was last year. Remember it. Excuse me. And we'll do it. So we'll do turkeys 3 times and then Christmas.
So the ones you're doing this weekend, what shows are those?
We're doing a show called The Westies, which is going to be a Netflix feature. It's more of a mobster style Irish Italian mafia movie.
Okay, yeah. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it does. The main actor is that dude from Spider-Man, the guy who was like who ran the newspaper office with the mustache. The bald guy.
Yeah.
Don't know his name, but he's a great looking gangster.
Yeah, I could see him.
He looks great. When he came to the lunchroom the first time, I'm like, this guy looks straight up gangster.
Yeah.
And I can always tell if the show is going to be good when you see the cast. We're also doing Ginny and Georgia.
That's always my wife likes that show.
Yeah.
I've never watched it.
You know what? I haven't watched it too, but my kids love it too.
Oh, really? Okay.
But Andrea, my wife, was just like, I don't think the girls should be watching it. This was season 1. She's like, it's a little bit, you know.
That's a big show, though.
It's huge. Huge show. Yeah, we're doing Ginny and Georgia. Interview with a Vampire. Huge show. Late nights, brother. Late nights.
Yeah.
A lot of Hamilton. A lot of studio as well, but it's late nights, and that's my biggest show actually tomorrow. They're consuming almost 100 pounds of turkey. They got a bunch of background, and we're in the Hammer tomorrow.
Is it late nights because it's the whole vampire theme and a lot of night shots?
A lot of night shots.
Yeah.
Also, like studio, it doesn't matter if it's day or night. But these days, I find that Toronto is starting to be really, really popular with filming. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson are now pitching for Hollywood to move to Texas.
Yeah.
And you know, Matthew McConaughey is a proud Texan. And it won't really affect us because, you know, Toronto has the look, buddy. We can be Chicago, we can be New York, we could be LA. You know, we can be the out in the Arctic.
Yeah, the Northern Ontario
stuff. Lots of stuff happening. Dan Hooks at Martin's, they just did a show in Temagami, Ontario with bears. He was sending us pictures with bears literally outside the craft truck.
I saw one show that's out now. I can't remember. I think the name of it is Wayward on Netflix, and they filmed it. They filmed it in Toronto, and then the wood scene, they said it was Vermont, but I could tell it wasn't Vermont.
No, it looked probably Sudbury.
It looked Sudbury, North Bay area. But you're right. Canada can disguise as so many different places
for sure,
yeah.
And that's why.
And they're American dollar too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Goes a lot farther.
We're on a bunch of stuff right now, so it's busy, but usually around Christmas time, again, being Italian, Siege, I'm going to ask you this one. Christmas time, is turkey dinner a thing for your family? I mean, your roots are Canadian, but also Scottish heritage.
Yeah.
Is turkey
Scottish
dinner
so turkey dinner is always... Lately, though, we've been doing the turkey dinner on Thanksgiving, and then we've been doing just potlucks on Christmas. Like everyone brings something else, like a different family, but we kind of staying away from 2 turkeys back to back.
Right.
What about you? It's not a big thing for you, seafood, right?
Italians is seafood. You know, Good Friday is in Easter, around Easter. That's one really big day where it's just seafood. You don't eat meat for the day. But Christmas time, it's mostly seafood. We have been starting to do the prime rib.
Yeah,
prime
that's a nice touch.
It's a nice touch. It's always, I mean, you got to pull a mortgage, but
yeah,
it's always been nice to do a nice piece of beef. You know, you can't go wrong with a prime rib, some scalloped potatoes, some nice vegetables, maybe a nice pasta. But yeah, seafood has always been our thing for Christmas. But it's funny because, again, you know, our customers, They love the turkey dinner at Christmas.
Oh, I bet. And you're getting the turkeys from the Butcher Shop too, right?
Butcher Shop direct. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You call them up, get your fresh turkey. Nothing. Listen, butterball turkeys are great. I'm not knocking them at all. They come stuffed. They come seasoned, frozen. I encourage people to look at those dates, Siege. Look at those dates. And there's a reason why grocery stores make sales on frozen turkeys right before Thanksgiving. Do you want to know why?
What is that?
Because you could check those dates, and I'm telling you, they're probably from last year.
Probably. And they're always pumped full of preservatives and all that stuff.
Yep.
Because I know my dad was getting allergic reactions from frozen turkeys. So every time he had a butterball, we were doing it for years, and Thanksgiving, he would kind of get like hives. And he didn't know what it was. And then he narrowed it down. He talked to his doctor. And it's all the preservatives and everything in the butterballs. So since then, we've been ordering fresh turkeys. No problem.
Yeah, I was going to say the fresh turkeys, you could probably find them in grocery stores this time of year, right before Thanksgiving. But I would always tell people to check the dates on their frozen birds because they have the kill dates on their, Siege. Right. And you'll be surprised to see that some of those birds could have been frozen for a year. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
And so the fact that, yeah, they're pumping preservatives and stuff like that, but they're stuffed as well, those butterballs, right?
You can get them stuffed and unstuffed and cooked from frozen. They're good.
They're good. No, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying.
Some of them have that little button on them. So like when you put it in the oven, the button pops out. It's like ready to go. It's a convenience thing,
Nothing
man.
wrong with it.
But yeah.
They even put all the organs and everything like in a bag.
The giblets and everything.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it, folks. I'm encouraging people to get fresh turkeys for their holiday season, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever you do. But we're gonna take a break. When we get back, we're gonna wrap up this Thanksgiving turkey.
We have some questions.
We got questions. We got a special guest we're gonna talk to. He's not really a guest. He's a foreskin, but we're gonna talk to him. But we're gonna get maybe a little political here, Siege. I got a question for you that I want to ask. You have no idea what it is. I might ask Hookset as well. But just to get your take on this, because it could get heated, and I think that people listening are going to want to jump through their car radio to have an input in this, because it's a touchy subject, but I think it needs to be discussed, pal.
I'm excited for it, man. It's going to be a stinger.
It's a loaded question.
Get me there, yeah.
Fill up your drink. We'll be right back after the short message.
Hey, Eating Wild listeners, are you still searching for that perfect boat?
Xtreme Marine London has got you covered with new and used boat sales, service, and professional installation of marine electronics and accessories. Visit their London or Kingsville, Ontario locations today and get ready to make waves and catch that fish of a lifetime.
Xtreme Marine is your one-stop marine shop. Check them out at www.extrememarinelondon.com and follow their journey on Instagram and Facebook. Be sure to tell them that the Eating Wild Boys sent you.
We're back, folks. We're here. Bad news.
What happened?
Hookset Martins isn't joining us.
Cricket Martins is not coming in?
Cricket Martins. He's just having a drink, but he's here. He's in the room.
Yes, he's in the room. Okay.
Wow, very nice.
No, he's doing emails and doing work stuff right now. So we'll see him definitely on next week when we come back from the nip. He's coming on, right?
Sure is.
Two-hour, two-parter banger.
Two-parter banger with Hookset.
Yeah. So you had a question.
Yeah, I got a question, man, and it's one of those things. I don't know if you've been watching the socials. Obviously, you have been. You've been running the socials for us. But there's been an incident. This is the salmon season, which everyone knows fishing salmon in the rivers is, are those fish actually biting? Or, are they actually aggressive enough? They're going up there to do one thing, Siege. They're going up there to lay their eggs, period. Right. That's what they're programmed to do. They're doing their things. Here's the problem. There was a video. Last year we had a similar video, but this one actually got me going. We had people in the Bowmanville Creek literally going down to these salmon that are like already half dead. You could see them. They're starting to turn black, literally with nets, and they're scooping. They're just scooping these salmon, filling up garbage bags.
Jeez.
And bringing them up to their cart to have a fiesta. I don't know what those salmon are going to taste like, but what the hell is going on here in Canada where these people are getting these passes and not getting slapped on the wrist by anybody? Because listen, we pay for our fishing license every year. We pay, we follow the rules, we do everything we can to make sure that we do our part. You know us, we don't really eat everything we catch. We barely do short lunches.
Right.
And you got people that are coming here and literally scooping salmon out of the river and not getting in trouble for it. Siege, what the hell's going on here?
My big problem with that is if you and I and Dan and Lou were to go to do that, if we were we would never do it. But let's say we got nets out and we were doing the same thing. I really feel that we would get punished.
For sure.
Like through we'd lose our licenses. We lose way more than someone that's new to Canada. And you opened my eyes to this about this area. Now every year it just gets worse and worse.
It's getting
and
worse. It's getting worse. We talked about this with Pete Bowman last year because he's out in that area. And there was the video of a guy who took his phone from up top of one of the rivers. And he's like, I'm showing this to the MNR guys. You can't be doing this. And they looked at him and didn't care and just went with their bats and were bashing fish over the head.
Yeah.
They're floating down river and they're scooping them up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Like, why aren't these guys why isn't, I don't know how to say if it's our government or if it's MNR, whoever, I don't know. And I don't understand why they're not getting in trouble for this.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little bit of trouble, but they don't have anything to lose. They don't have a fishing license to lose. You know what I mean? So what are they going to do to them? I think sometimes they go to fine them, and then all of a sudden they say they can't speak English.
Right.
So I don't know, man. It's just, I want to compare it to the lately in the Kawartha. It's a bunch of gentlemen, new Canadians, I think, shooting their guns off.
Yeah.
Like just shooting guns, like restricted guns. And shotguns that definitely held more than 5 or 3 shells.
Right.
And they were shooting it on a bridge that was like a snowmobile bridge that the town raised money to build. And they shot up the bridge and they were shooting their guns into trails where people walk.
Right.
And they played their certain music, whatever. But luckily, they filmed it like they were gangsters, like they were like a rap video, whatever. But they had their license plates right on their car exposed. So supposedly they got these guys. But again, are they going to be in and out the next day?
I don't know. But you mentioned something to me. Again, we're getting political. We're not really political podcast here, but
It's our views.
It's our views. You mentioned something to me that there's 2 different types of basically laws that are put in place for new Canadians.
Right.
And this is nuts. You're telling me that if somebody breaks into your house.
Oh, God, don't even get me going on that one.
Okay, somebody breaks into your house and they are first-time offenders, but they're new immigrants to Canada. They don't get charged like if it were me and you breaking into somebody's house.
Right.
And like, what the hell is that all about, man?
Not only that, Tone, it seems like there's 2-tier law system right now. If you're existing Canadian and if you do something stupid, you're going to get the prison time. But if you're a new Canadian, you almost get a hall pass. It's like they didn't know any different. It's just, you see what's happening to the liquor stores and they're going around with duffel bags and taking all this and all their booze and walking out and video cameras are right on them. They don't care just because the government right now is just letting them get away with it. And the home invasions, like everyone's heard that with the home invasions where God forbid you protect your family and someone breaks in your house and you do something back with them, you're the person that's charged.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
And these aren't even first time people. Like, I believe the one was in Lindsay, Ontario, I think it was. And this guy was a felon all of his life and comes in with a crossbow. And then the guy put him in the hospital because he came in the crossbow and he gets charged too. But I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like it's the same country anymore. I'm not being I'm all for immigration, for the right immigration, but lately it just seems like everything is against existing Canadians. Different laws, different rules, the legal system. But I'm telling you, if you break in my house, I actually had my, this is a funny story. I'm going to make a little light out of it. I did have my car broken into recently, and the guy went through my car. He took some change and everything, and that loser didn't take my Bondi baits in the back seat.
Which is the prized possession.
My prized possession. My wife's like, what are you so worried about that was in your car? Did you have a lot of money in there? Did you have like your cell phone? I'm like, I had my Bondi baits. I had these rare colors that John Bondi makes only so many of. And I think I had one for Lou in my car too. First thing I looked, and he'd even touch them. Didn't want those lures. And again, I was talking to the police officer, and he said, yeah, they just go check for doors that are open, car handles, and da-da-da. But they're in and out of jail right now, and there's no repercussions, so these criminals are taking advantage of that, and it's not safe.
Had my F-150 with a crowbar taken to it last week.
I saw that.
And they didn't get in. Here's the thing, and this is my mistake as well. The last time I had a Harley Davidson F-150 like 8 years ago, which was really cool. You know, I love that truck.
Right.
And they smashed the glass on my driveway to break in, and they actually sold. I had Toronto Raptors season tickets back when they were actually like tickets.
Oh, physical hard
copies. Now it's all, generated through
digital,
Ticketmaster and stuff, right? So anyways, the guy stole the whole season. There was still a half a season left, and it worried me because, they get these physical tickets, they can go out and scalp them. I called right away to MLSC, had them canceled, they reissued me tickets, but that guy was still able to go out there on whatever platform and still sell them, right?
Right, yeah.
It's just those poor people, when they went to scan them at the front, they got told that they were not valid. The point I'm trying to make is the cop told me that day, you're better off leaving your doors open because it would save you the money on broken glass. Because let's face it, you're not going to take in $1,000 insurance. You got to put down your deductible, which is usually minimum $1,000 to fix a $400 glass.
You got to go to the claim center. You got to do all the forms and all that. You're right. It's a good point.
So he was like, leave your doors open. Well, with my new F-150, the doors were locked. I didn't have really anything valuable in there because I don't keep anything in there. But I feel like if I would have kept my doors open, they probably would have went in there. They might have made a mess, but they wouldn't have gotten anything. So, is that what it comes down to these days? We have to leave everything open for these people just to have a gander while we're asleep?
Yeah, I'm jealous of places like Texas. That Castle Law that they have there in Florida, Castle Law, where there's repercussions if you break into someone's house and in the middle of the night and you have your family there. They almost encourage it to. They encourage to shoot people.
No, I know.
The Florida guy says on there, if you don't know how to shoot a gun, we'll train you. We have classes every Saturday, and I'm not telling people that they should have a gun underneath their pillow, but anyone that's listening that has their hunting's license and owns guns, they know exactly how fast it takes to get their guns, and they're probably gonna pull it if they have to. And I'm one of those people that will.
I feel sorry for somebody that tries to get into the Maleka residence because I'll tell you right now, I'll let you choose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm gonna shoot and murder somebody, but I'm gonna protect my family, whatever it is,
whatever it takes.
And if it's people breaking in the middle of the night, and you hear the stories, and actually I've seen some Ring cameras on social media of these guys kicking in doors, and then you hear somebody screaming outside, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And that, and then they're armed as well.
Yeah.
So if they're armed and they're breaking in your house, what are you going to do? You're going to do like what that Ontario police officer said, call 911.
Yeah.
By the time you call 911, you might get popped.
Well, there was an incident where I can't remember, Dan knows more about the story, but there was an incident where they called 911 and they broke in, they took everything, and the cops showed up the next day, and it was just too late, and they said they were too busy.
Too busy.
Yeah, and it's right now, to be a Canadian, it doesn't hit the same. I don't know. And that's why I want to move more. My wife doesn't want to go north, but I almost want to go more north. It seems it's not as crazy.
You know what the funny thing is about north? We talked about keeping your doors open.
Yeah.
Siege up north, they leave the keys in their cars. Doors are open for your neighbors. Company comes over. It's like, oh my God, company's here. Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
These days, you knock on somebody's door, it's like everyone's looking through their cameras to see who it is. Is it somebody trying to clean your windows or what, and you're worried to answer the door because you don't know what these people are doing.
And the crazy part is, Tone, they know they're being recorded.
Yeah, no,
they don't even
they
care.
Don't care.
They don't care if you have the Ring, the one on your, like, the house camera, the car camera. I know we're getting off topic from fishing, hunting, and cooking, but it is a good point. I'm sure there's a lot of listeners that kind of can relate to us on this subject. Like, it's frustrating.
It is.
It's frustrating to see our country in the last 10 years just to feel like it's not the same country.
Right. And again, this whole conversation started from fishing.
Right.
From people
right. Yeah.
having these hall passes that are going and stealing our half-dead salmon.
Yeah.
Which to me is ridiculous. You told me a story about a guy in an elevator with a live goose.
Yeah, so then there was a guy, they were at, I think it was an apartment building, and he's walking to the elevator, and there were new Canadians in there, and they had like a beat up live goose. And he's like, what are you doing with that? Like, and they're like, oh, it's ours. Like, all of a sudden, they don't understand what he's saying, but they just pretty much grabbed a goose from a park and brought it up to their apartment building. I don't know if they gave it a good whack, but it was still alive and flopping its wings. And Buddy's like, well, what, there's rules here. And I don't know, man. I'm sure every one of our listeners can tell us a similar story, but it's just, it's more common to see this stupid stuff out there than anything now. It's everyone has these stories.
Well, man, listen, I don't want to spend too much more time on this crap,
no,
but
man,
I'm glad we have this conversation because people listening right now, you're right. They probably have their own take on it.
Yeah.
They probably have their own stories, like you said. And the fact is, if other people have this as a story, then it's happening a lot.
It doesn't even matter what town it is. It used to be like, I love Toronto, but it used to be a major city problem with some of these things. And now you could be I'm everywhere from work. I'm driving around like Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere. Elmer, Ontario, Delhi, Ontario, all these small little towns.
It's happening.
And they're saying it's happening, the same things, like just robberies, and they're going town to town.
Well, we need to start thinking about taking things in our own hands. Siege.
Yeah, we got to put, I think we start putting our elbows down a little bit.
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
Getting pap.
Thank God Lou's not here, right? Because his elbows are always up.
Yeah, he's always got them right to the sky,
yeah,
man.
Jesus, Lou's a jerk. But
let's get off the politics.
Let's get off the politics. You had a question for me. I've been waiting for it all day, and I got one for you too.
That was a good question. To our listeners, I steered off when Tone asked me about the Sam people poaching Sam, and all of a sudden Siege gets
what are you cooking with that thing? It's half dead. Like, really?
Yeah, I know.
Dump.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a good question for you, and it's relating to I'm saving it because it's right by our hunt camp season. And this is directed right to you. Now, mind you, I don't have my glasses and I'm old. Okay. So it says, hey, Smash, over the last few years, my buddies have voted me as the hunt camp chef. It definitely has its ups and downs. I was curious to hear from you. What's your proudest camp chef moment and what's been your worst culinary disaster out there? Thanks, Greg Spada.
Greg, great question. Here's the problem. You're going to be your camp chef. We are blessed to have the tools at our hunt camp,
right?
Where you can be the chef, Lou's the chef, Dan's the chef, Gags is the chef, I'm the chef. I think that if you are going to be the camp chef, make sure you're not just cooking all your meals off of a wood-burning stove like all the other people out there. Bring yourself something like those small charcoal barbecues you can get right now on Amazon for really cheap. Bring that. That's going to elevate your game. Because most people they don't have a barbecue at their hunt camp,
right?
They don't have, they got to cook over wood and what it is. It's challenging. It's challenging for anybody.
Like a big pan.
Sure. Bring those butane burners with you. They're light to carry. They come in a little box. And I'll tell you, you'll be able to boil water. You'll be able to pan fry, pan sear. Bring a little small charcoal barbecue, no matter how big your party is. And right away, that's going to elevate your game. Now, for us, we're lucky we got, some really nice equipment up there. And we've all taken turns cooking at the camp. I got videos of Louise last year on the flat top, and you're remember you came and you were interviewing him. Yeah, chef. Hey, chef. And
Yeah,
he was frying
yeah.
off onions. And, Dan was outside making short ribs on that little.
Yeah, that was a good addition.
He was going short ribs outside. Lou was on the flat top. I was cutting bread. We were boiling gnocchi.
Yeah, I was doing time management.
You were doing time management.
Yeah, we had a full house. We had to be
full house, man.
Yeah, we had.
And in the morning, we're cracking eggs on the flat top.
Yeah,
we bring breakfast sandwiches that all you got to do is heat them up.
Yeah.
I think to answer your question, be more prepared.
Yeah,
I think if you're going to be your camp chef, bring stuff that you can prep ahead of time, that it's easy to finish off for people. Again, I don't know what Greg's party size is, but there are things you could purchase now that will help you elevate that and keep it simple. I mean, you don't have to go all, we don't go all gourmet. We just bring up stuff that we like to eat. And, again, Dan and I are in the industry, so we already talked today, actually.
we have the resources.
We have the resources,
beautiful products
we're
out
bringing
there.
in stuff. But listen, go to the store, collect your money from your friends, make a list. We always do it. We do a group chat. Okay, who's bringing what? You're bringing this. And then when you look at that, be like, okay, this is what I need to make this meal unbelievable or easy enough to cook. Sausages, burgers, again, bring your little charcoal barbecue. It's easy to bring. Burgers take 5 to 10 minutes to cook. Sausages, if you buy the pre-smoked ones, they're easy to go. But there is a disaster. The second part of the question.
So what was it? The first part is, so what was like the dish that you were been most proud of when we've been out there? Is there something?
Yeah, I think doing the classic short ribs, because Coach, he was sitting in here not too long ago, and we asked him that. We're like, what are you most excited for? Those Korean style short ribs that we do. It's not really I'm proud about. It's just my favorite thing to make up there. And it takes seconds to make. But we have gone crazy. I brought a whole smoked brisket last year, the corned beef. Do you remember that one?
My favorite is right before we landed the Butcher Shoppe sponsorship.
Yeah.
They gave us a bunch of not T-bones.
The porterhouse?
Yeah, the porterhouses and the tomahawks.
The tomahawk, yeah.
So it was this, we were celebrating the sponsorship from them, and they gave us a great hunt camp package with tomahawks and porterhouses, and then you slice that up. That was one of my
favorites. We had
favorite.
the chimichurri, which again, you could prep at home. We had all the condiments.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to do and put on a show for your friends in your hunt camp if you're well prepared. If you've been chosen to be the chef, come prepared, man.
Yeah.
Plan it out. Again, if this is all out of pocket stuff, then keep it simple.
Yeah.
But if everyone's chipping in, go to the butcher shop or go to your local butcher, buy a Tommy.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a couple porterhouses for the guys. Bring some flatbread, bring a hot sauce. Do some tapas, have fun with it, man, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And again, we always over plan for this stuff. A lot of the time we're leaving food up there for the guys.
They love it.
They love it.
They're like, it's Halloween for them.
I think we got enough cold cut meat to last the camp for at least until the rifle hunt anyways.
It's a big responsibility being the camp chef. My grandfather, he in the Navy, was the chef. So when he went moose hunting and everything with my uncles back in the day, he was the camp chef. And he used to do this like turkey dinners and all that. But that's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. But the thing is you're with your friends. So if you cook your steak well done by accident, who cares? You're going to eat it. You're probably popped on the bottle anyways.
And it's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat. And for disasters, back to Craig's question, is there one something?
So if you guys remember this, I was so excited to bring up that baby suckling pig.
Oh, yes.
And this was an absolute disaster. In fact, I was so positive that so we opened the box, we got the Butcher Shoppe gave us a suckling pig.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to cook this for you guys. And when we opened the box, it smelled like absolute crap.
Yeah.
Like meat is spoiled.
So what was the issue? I can't remember. Was the generator gone? And it was
no. It was. I honestly, it came in fresh. It was a fresh baby suckling pig, and it was a 3-hour drive. It was in the box, and Siege, I can't answer that, man. I don't know if it was.
You were devastated.
I was devastated. And I remember we started cooking it and the whole hunt camp started smelling so bad. And I was in denial.
Yeah,
I'm like, no,
like,
that's normal.
You're like, that's normal, right, guys? That's normal. We're like, man,
no,
it doesn't smell like
it didn't smell good. And I was so pissed off. But we actually did an experiment with it.
Yes, we did it. Yes.
And we left it out in the brush pile, half cooked, by one of our stands to see what would happen. And
I wish we put a trail cam on that.
It would have been awesome to put a trail cam on that.
But the next day there was nothing.
Nothing, gone.
Cleaned. And I would have loved to see you. Like, I think Dan and I were talking about this before. It was just like, can you imagine the animal that came across that? It'd be like, because they're not seeing pigs.
No, it was a 25 pounder. It wasn't like it was small.
And they're not, these animals aren't seeing pigs.
No, and half cooked with the smell that's like going vile, and it's like that thing smelt that. I guarantee you, Siege, that pig was gone within a couple hours.
That animal probably came back to that exact same spot every day for a month because this pig came from heaven for this thing, right? It was just like
boned out and everything, cleaned out. All he had to do was just eat it whole, and there wasn't even the snout left.
What do you think? Gone. What do you think? Coyotes? You think wolves? You think bears?
We hear a lot of wolves.
Yeah.
We do hear a lot of wolves up there.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. There was a video that you guys, I think it was Gags, took of me. We were duck hunting on an island, and we heard that pack of wolves, and it sounded like they were right behind me, man, and it freaked me out. But I mean, bears maybe. I don't know, Siege. I can't tell you. But you're right. We should have had a trail cam there.
There was, and I think the same time we had beside the pig, we had a cormorant. So that not only did they get the pig, they got the cormorant.
They're at the Mandarin. They're at the Mandarin.
There's a surfing. Oh, geez, there's no surfing in that. That's
a partial turf.
Yeah, it's a oink and a cluck or whatever. That was, whatever animal ended up getting that meal.
Yeah.
But you were devastated, and, you know, that stuff happens. So.
Yeah, but I've been devastated a lot, man. I'm not perfect, buddy. I've managed to butcher a lot of meals over the years, hopefully not at the hunt camp because, you know, the expectations are high. But you know what, man, just go out there, cook your food, enjoy it. If you're cooking on a wood-burning stove and you're stuck to doing the baked beans and the
That's
scrambled
nothing wrong
eggs,
with that, man.
Nothing wrong with it, man. Get some bread, dunker. You know what a popular, I've been watching a lot of stuff on socials. You know what a popular hunt camp meal is? Venison chili.
Oh, I bet.
Venison chili seems to be what people always, because it's their venison probably from last year.
Yeah.
You know, you're up there, you're going to shoot whitetail.
And it's a colder time of year.
So venison chili's been one of those things, and you could cook that right over a wood-burning stove.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think the question's great, but I think it all depends on what elements he has.
Yeah.
And if you want to prepare to make something special like he asked, just put the time into, you know, spend a couple $100 on some, you know, some nice stuff that's easy to travel with that you don't have to leave up there. And if it's something where you're cooking over a fire, Siege, you can buy those wrought iron baskets now. They're cheap, $25.
Right.
Put your meat in that, hold it over the fire or rest it on a rock or some wood, and you can have the benefits of a really nice meal. And again, the wow factor's there for your buddies. But yeah, great question, man.
And Craig, put pressure on your friends, because put your pressure on your friends to catch a fish and get a duck and get all that. Be like, I'm the chef. You guys got to bring me.
You don't provide. We
You got to
ain't
provide. I got the spices. I got all the stuff to make it. So put pressure on your friends to bring you some beautiful Walters or duck or grouse.
Yeah.
Hey boys, have you guys ever been to Gagnon Sports out in Oshawa?
Have I? That place is a gold mine. Picked up my new bow there last weekend. Hunting, fishing, archery, they've got everything.
Boys, don't forget the indoor shooting range. Gagnon's not just a store, it's an experience. They've been doing it right for over 50 years.
Seriously? I thought it was just another outdoor shop.
Just another shop. Buddy, it's family owned, Canadian proud, and huge. I've spent entire afternoons in there.
Or skip the trip and shop online. GagnonSports.com ships across Canada, fast, smooth, and packed with top-notch gear.
All right, I'm sold. Gagnon Sports trip next weekend?
Only if we hit the indoor range first, so I can show you guys how to shoot.
Gagnon Sports, 50 years of adventure and counting.
And don't forget to tell them the Eating Wild Boys sent you.
Well, I got a question for you, bud. This one is going to be I don't need glasses, but I could barely see this. But anyways, this is for you, Siege.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm a hunter, but never really fished much. I just inherited my uncle's aluminum boat with a 20 horsepower Mercury.
Nice.
And instead of selling it, I'm going to give fishing a shot. Any tips, techniques, or going after multiple species on smaller Ontario lakes? I'm feeling a bit lost with all the rods, reels, lures, and boat electronics. And I'm also curious about affordable boat upgrades. That's from Tyson Jacobs in Aurelia, Ontario.
Tyson wants a book here, man. He wants a whole novel.
That's a loaded question.
Well, you can chime on this too, but so he's getting away from still hunting, but wants to get into fishing.
And he just inherited a boat.
A nice little boat.
20 HPs.
I would say, yeah, it is very discouraging though. When you think about it now, you're just getting into it and you go onto YouTube and all that stuff, all the different techniques and specific, like all the different rods and reels. I would just say, keep it simple, right? Get one bait casting rod, get a spinning rod, go with the proven baits, like a spinner bait, chatter bait, crank bait.
Right.
And like what else? Plastics, Ned rigs.
I think, Siege, just to chime in on this, I think it's not a bad idea to do what we did. Maybe book a guide for the first time.
That's a great time. Yeah. And the thing is too, I learned a lot when I'm fishing is a new technique. You go out by yourself, if it seems like he has this boat and everything, go out by yourself and pick a lure, that specific lure, and just fish that lure for a day and try to get confident with it. Don't switch it around to all different lures. Just get confident. Even if you catch small fish, who cares? Right. But just like it's another craft you can add to your, ammo or whatever, to your gun. And just each time, just get confident. The more confident you are, you're going to pop.
Right.
And another thing is fish with other people. Like, look how many, like you mentioned with the guide, there's been so many times when I grew up and all that stuff, I'm always in my comfort zone of what lures I think work or the best. The next thing you know, you fish with someone else and they use something totally different. You're like, it opens your eyes, right? Like a different technique. And I learned the jerkbait from my neighbor. He was the time I was 20, he was 15.
Right.
And I never thought about doing it. So I would fish with more people and just, try to like, just get technique specific, but you can get caught up in a lot of money into this sport.
Well, he mentioned smaller lakes. Is there any smaller lakes? I guess I'm
Not
assuming
both perfect for smaller lakes.
Yeah, but I'm assuming he's maybe a Southern Ontario. Well, Aurelia, there's a lot of lakes out that area.
That's beautiful.
I mean, you got Couchiching, St. John, you got Simcoe, you got Bass Lake.
He's in heaven. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I mean, you're not far from some pretty cool lakes.
And if he said boat upgrades, upgrades for his 20-foot aluminum, I would just put a basic sonar on there. Don't get caught up at there, because I think everyone that gets into fishing now thinks they need forward facing because they see it so much in the media. They think, if I'm going to catch fish, I need this. Let that, for the more experienced anglers, just get your basic sonar. And if you're going to put any money into that boat, I think it's a game changer. I think all of our crew can agree on this. Is a good trolling motor with spot lock.
Spot lock, yeah.
That was the biggest game changer to my fishing. Like a good, because look how many times we're using the big motor. We don't, especially these small lakes. You're not really using. He's not going to be using his 20 horse Merc that much. He's going to be using that trolling motor. I'm sure, like. Our trolling motors have more miles on it than our big engine because that's the way we always fish.
Yeah, it's a good point because, back in the day, everyone's throwing anchors over their boat when they get to a spot.
Yeah.
If you're by yourself, it's a pain in the ass. You're throwing your anchor down, you get stuck.
Yeah.
If it's windy out, your boat's not getting positioned properly because boat position's a big thing.
It's funny you say that because when I was getting into fishing, or the boats I had access to, it was an anchor. It wasn't an anchor. It was a rope, and it was a bleach bottle full of concrete. So you just toss it over, and then you almost don't want to leave the spot because you don't want to wheel that thing out of the weeds every time. You know what I mean? But yeah, so the trolling motor, I think, is...
That's a good point. If you're going to spend dough, trolling motor, spot lock.
Yeah, trolling motor, spot lock, and then fish with as many people as possible. Don't get discouraged. Just do each time a different technique. Like, I mean, there were so many times I thought, me, I like to use power fishing. I like power, fast reaction baits. And I thought that's all you had to do. And there's times when I wasn't catching anything and I thought the fish weren't biting and I would go home. But then we get introduced to finesse, and then there's times when the reaction baits, when we go to Nipissing, the finesse is way more better than the reaction baits.
Right.
So if you have both of those in your hat, it was a long question he had. Obviously, I got a little excited, but yeah, man, just keep it simple and start with the smaller fish even.
Yeah, I think I won't even touch on that because I think you just nailed it on the head. I didn't even think about the most important tool if this guy's inheriting a boat is a trolling motor, 100%. Like even back in the day when we used to rent those little boats, speaking of little lakes and stuff like that, Island Lake in Orangeville, Ontario, all they used to give you was one of those little handheld trolling motors, and there was no spot lock on it, but you were able to control yourself.
You're able to control it, and they give us one 12-volt battery, and then we give them an extra $10 to put 2 in there for us, so we'd have more juice.
So we were able to last a whole day, right?
Yeah, but yeah, and then for electronics for his boat, I would just the great thing about forward-facing sonar right now is they're expensive, but they're driving down the prices on the traditional sonars.
Right.
So you'll see traditional sonars with your down scan, your sonar, and your side scan at a really reasonable price. So he could get a nice 7-inch and then 7 to 9-inch basic, and then with a good trolling motor and that 20-horse Merc.
Yeah. And all you're really looking for in a fish finder when you're first starting is structure, depth, water temperature.
Water temp.
You know, speed. Some of them actually do the speed. We were talking with Cody yesterday. He actually looks at his sonar for his speed. He doesn't even look at his dash anymore.
Yeah, half the time they don't even work after a while. Boats. They stop working.
If they were able to read how much fuel you had, it'd probably be a bonus too. Because by the time nobody knows how much fuel's in their boat.
And then with the traditional sonars, he can mark spots too. He can mark spots if he gets into fish. And I really want to see, if you're listening, obviously he's listening because he sent us a question. What was his name again?
Greg.
Was it Greg the first one or was the second one?
Good question. Maybe I butchered that.
We'll just call him Bud.
Tyson Jacobs.
So Tyson, if you're listening, I want to see a yearly update on pictures of your boat, and we'll put it on the gram and any fish you catch. And maybe he sounds like he was a hardcore hunter. So maybe he can teach us a little bit of the hunting and we can teach him a little bit of the fishing.
Well said, buddy. Great question, loaded questions. And it's always nice to hear from people and, give them, again, we're not professionals, but we like to give our opinion, and whether you take it or not, it's just from experience.
That would have been a great question for Hookset.
Yeah. Where is Hookset?
Oh, is that crickets? No, we're running out of time, but we're definitely going to have Hookset on next week.
Okay.
Oh, he's still got the cricket going.
Where is he, man? He's like, when did you ever watch Pokeroo?
Yeah.
When you were a kid?
Yeah.
And then they come in and they're like, did we just miss him again?
Yeah.
And he's really there.
I know.
But then they just miss him. That's what the listeners are going through with Hookset.
If we didn't have Tyson's question, we would have had time, but unfortunately we ran out of time for Hookset. Sorry. Thanks, Tyson.
Thanks, Tyson.
Yeah.
Well, we're wrapping up here, but Siege, before we do, we're going to have a couple episodes that are leading up to the Muskie Brawl. We're hoping to have Dave Gray, the one of the founders of the Muskie Brawl.
He will be coming on the week we get back from Nipissing.
Perfect. So we got a couple guests lined up. Also, Lou did not go out with JP Bushy as I mentioned.
What happened with that?
Classic double booked. That happens. Being a guide, you're busy this time of year. So he told Lou that he'll get him out again on G-Bay. But a lot of people are asking us questions about the Muskie Brawl, asking us questions about how can they enter. Your questions will all be answered when Davey G is sitting with us, because I encourage people to reach out to us, and if you do have any questions about it, we can ask them directly.
And you're getting geared up. You're going to Gagnon's this weekend.
I'm going on Saturday. Problem. The 401s are completely out of stock across.
Shimano
Tranks 401s left-hand are completely out of stock. Anywhere seems like in Ontario right now.
Because they're redoing it.
They're redoing it. Yeah. And one thing he told me, though, Justin from Gagnon Sports, and Hookset told me this too, the Daiwa.
Yeah.
It'll do exactly what.
A little bit cheaper too.
A little cheaper. And your buddy, actually, also, you were talking to him today.
John from Angling Sports.
He was saying the same thing because he sold out of them.
Yeah.
And he was saying, look into the Lexa.
And these not bait makers, these reel makers, there's so many left-handed guys out there. Okay, make more lefties.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Get out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to bait cast with their right hand and then switch over to reel?
Come on, man.
That's dump.
And I'm not even. That's a good way to say it.
Well, it is, man.
And I'm not even left-handed. Like, I don't
not.
write left, but I learned. You got to learn left-handing. Any of those Tyson, if you're getting a bait caster first time, learn on with your left. It's so much easier, but you're not going to have as good a selection buying it.
I agree, man. Yeah, so I'm excited to go to Gagnon Sports. I'm going to go check out, see what Justin's got. I think I'm good for ammo for that following week.
Yep. You're going to be getting a rifle. What are you looking at, Tikas?
Come on, you know I already got my Tika, man.
Yeah, I'm just
I got my Tika.
This guy gets Tikas. He's got the Benelli Best, Cordoba. This guy.
They're gift cards, man.
This guy is like, if there is Lamborghinis in the outdoor world, and I love it because we don't have a lot of hobbies, right? We don't have a lot of hobbies right now in our lifetime, so we always wanted the best of the best, and you're getting the best, and you are going to be.
I'll look great, but I don't know if I'm going to actually pop with it.
You're going to be the talk. I think Dan said you're going to be the talk of the hunt camp. Everyone's going to be so jelly of that Tika.
Yeah.
Was it Tika?
Yeah, the Tika and the Benelli, the worst hunter out of the group.
Yeah, but you're looking to look good doing it,
great,
bud. You're going to look good doing it.
No, you know what? Last year, first time going out for rifle. You guys haven't done it yet. Me and Lou were the first times. Again, we got to borrow a gun. And when I said to you that I had gift cards that I've been saving for almost 5 years, it was
We're
the
not
truth.
going to mention the place.
And I went to this place with my gift cards, and I held multiple rifles, and to be honest, Siege, nothing compared. I think that was the problem.
Yeah,
you start at the low end, which are affordable when you're spending your own money, but then you're holding something, and you're like, oh my God, this is so much better. And I have the gift cards. Why not do it? And that's why I think I did it.
The mechanics, like he started, the gentleman started with, the more the better price points at the beginning,
right?
And there's nothing wrong with these guns. There's
Absolutely
nothing wrong. You're only going to probably shoot it once a year, anyways,
In fact, there was a more expensive gun that I held that the Tika felt actually better.
And you got it, and that's a good tip to our listeners. You always have to shoulder a gun. I don't care if you buy a $2,000 gun. If it doesn't shoulder right for that person, it's a waste.
Yeah,
you look great doing it, man.
Well,
when you held that up to the ceiling and pointed,
Yeah.
I'm like sold. Is that an Italian gun?
Yeah.
No, it's Finland.
It's Finland.
Oh, you went for the Finns.
Yeah, but I did hold an Italian gun, and I'm telling you,
but
it was double the price, but the Finnish one felt better, Siege. It's right. Listen, that guy Javier, by the way, his name's Javier. Not going to say where he works. The first thing he said to me, because I think Dan was with us too, and Lou was off getting his little micro adorable.
Yeah, it's adorable.
His little adorable crossbow, the mini,
the Hunger Games version. He got like
Jesus. He said to me, I said to him, I'm in the market for a rifle, and he said, well, let's start with the basics, and you hold them and work your way up, and you're gonna have to feel it. You got to, like you said, you got to shoulder it, and that gun to me felt like it was for me. And again, I've never even fired at an animal with a rifle. If I held it, I've shot targets, but I feel like I got the right one, and I'm excited for it, Siege, period.
And I don't want to be a home intruder to your house with that Tika.
Yeah, you come in.
Oh, jeez.
You come into my house, Siege, you're limping.
Yeah,
you're limping home. So, but I'm excited, buddy. We got our big trip coming up. We'll be talking lots about it. Hunting, fishing, cooking, eating.
Yeah, and jump on the Instagram, follow our stories. We're going to be active. I got Lou helping me out a little bit more in the socials now, so we're going to be more active at Hunt Camp, and then make sure you do the cliche, like, follow, subscribe on the podcast. Leave a comment, because we see the comments, and it really helps us out, and it shows our sponsors you guys are listening.
Speaking of sponsors, shout out to Xtreme Marine. Robbie, super busy.
Yes.
Crazy. Still selling boats. It's crazy. I saw he, like I said last episode, he has gotten my pontoon.
Yeah.
And he's just right now getting to detailing it and getting ready to sell. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And that's how busy he is. So, when you got a shop that's that busy, Siege, they're doing something right.
They're doing something right, between winterizing, pleasure crafters boats right now, selling duck boats right now. Like, people are buying those.
Then they're awesome. We saw them on Lake St. Clair. It's a game changer if you're going out shooting from the water.
Yeah, I asked the guy why he doesn't carry jet skis. He goes, that's all I need now is sell those things too, because he sells everything.
Right.
It'd be too much for him.
Yeah, Xtreme Marine London. Get out there, ask for Rob. He'll point you in the right direction. Gagnon Sports, I mentioned Justin. I'm going to go visit them on Saturday.
Yep.
I might leave with a muskie combo, might not. I think I'm okay, but it's always good to drop in there because you can never just walk around that place.
No. You're going to get some
and not
baits.
buy something.
I got a list of baits I need you to pick up from there. He's got some exclusive muskie baits that he's had on Instagram, and I need like 3 different colors of it.
Well, you sent me that text,
the whale tail.
Yeah. And last but not least, the Butcher Shop. Go on the Butcher Shop the butchershopdirect.com. Punch in the Eating Wild 15 on your first order. Get 15% off free delivery. Shop around. We talked about tomahawk steaks. We talked about suckling pigs. We talked about tons of stuff today. They have it all. Anything you need, 200 kilometers of the GTA in the Etobicoke area, delivered to your front door next day. Sign up, get yourself some hand-carved meats. And, buddy, I'm excited to pop with you this week, buddy. Cheers. Coach, get that tune started. We'll be right back next week with another episode, and hopefully we got a whitetail.
Yeah, let's hope. And a 7-pounder.
7-pounder.
And a bunch of grouse. And a couple geese.
We're out of here, folks. Ciao.
Get the net.
On the big old blue today, we've got the stars lined up. They're coming out ready to play. It won't be long, they'll be pulling up fish, and we'll be serving them their favorite dish.